This is Monte's 1971 K20 pickup. He's had it for about 30 years, and I've known him and about the truck for a long time. And when I opened my shop, working on these trucks a few years ago, he originally brought it to me to just do the rush repair on it for him. He wanted to start pecking away at some of the things it needed and start fixing it up a little bit. So I took care of that first. And needed rockers, inner rockers, cab corners, just the usuals that these trucks need. And I did all that and a few other fixes, put it back together for him. He drove around a little bit more, and then he decided, you know what, let's get serious. Let's really do this thing up. He'd been wanting to fix it up for all those years, and he collected a lot of new old stock parts and stuff for it. So he brought it back, and we tore it down again, and we really have gone into it now. And it's undergoing a full-blown restoration here in the shop. So this will be the first video sharing that process with you guys, and pretty excited about all this. You're going to hear me say that a lot, and I'm sorry because I am. I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah, so this truck will be done this summer, and we'll have kind of a full, little playlist here showing the build on this truck, on Monte's 1971 K20. So without further ado, here's some more bits and clips of what's going on currently with the truck. Hey guys, so I did a little video here on Monte's 1971 K20. I've worked on here for the last couple of weeks, getting it ready to go to the paint shop, and it's head there tonight. Got everything done I needed to get done, and Devin's going to get his hands on it. In a few short months, we should see this thing in some fresh dark olive and really looking at its part. So yeah, got the rest of the front sheet metal bolted on. That's what I was working on the other day there. Really happy how that turned out. Everything's fitting pretty nice. Got all gapped and ready to go. Show you some other stuff I've been working on. Did a decent amount of work to the back of the doors, adding and shaving and creating a respectable gap to match the rest of the good gap it has all the way around. This truck always had the nicest opening and closing doors, even when it was all together and complete still before I tore it apart. These doors, just effortless. They always just open and close so nice. So it's just kind of nice when it's just they're like that. I added the interior slots in the inner roof panel for the headliner because we're going to trim this to the Cheyenne Super. It was just a custom camper factory, but we're turning into a Super. And I did add a factory AC dash in this thing because the customer opted for vintage air, and so we're running that, but they're vintage air to factory AC dash outlets. I want to keep the factory look from the outside. But yeah, I did some work on the firewall to accept the vintage air. I'll show that here in a second. But here's that bed. So we went with a new bed for this one, all new panels, because his was just beat to hell. It had a bunch of big old dents in the side, been bonded over, had fuel doors in the sides as well, both sides, and the bed floor was just all sorts of beat up. So we opted for a new bed on this one. I did have to play around, as per usual, with the new tailgate to get it to fit nicely, so decent amount of work went into that. This stuff has gotten a lot better. 6 years ago, someone gave me aftermarket tailgate, I just throw it away, and just scrap it. But this stuff has gotten a lot better than it used to be. It took a little work still though to get open and closing nicely, but you can tell this stuff is, it's quality now. It's got some weight to it, and the stamping, the body lines are so much more crisper than they used to be. Before it was just like, this line used to disappear, there, and this stuff was always just super weird. You could see it was just like kind of roughly stamped. But again, this is Dynacorn panels here, and pretty impressed. This stuff's gotten a lot better. Little passenger side as well. Oh yeah, the factory bucket seats I did find for him. I'm sure you guys saw on the driver's side over there. Got everything here all gapped and sitting nice and pretty. New grill. Take two hands. Let's see. I do need to do a some sort of spring to help the hood get up, because the customer picked these Eddie Motorsports aftermarket hood hinges, and as well they're really nice, and they have been easy to adjust and set up. They don't have enough pressure to pop the hood up, the first initial release. So I can do some sort of a little spring or something here to get the hood up. But other than that, pretty happy with those. There's a firewall. I filled in all the factory heater holes and mirrored it with metal to match the contour kind of the other side, so it kind of has the same flowing look. Oh, I do have a little bit of a, see, I take these videos to remind myself something else I gotta do. Gotta hammer and dolly those marks out. Somebody beat the firewall in to fit an HEI. You don't gotta do that, guys. You don't have to do it. It fits without getting your hammer out. But at the paint shop, we're gonna pull the body, the bed off, put it on the cart, pull the cab off, put it on a cart, take the front sheet metal off, and we'll be bringing the chassis back here, and we'll be restoring the chassis. So I'm gonna get it stripped down. We got new ORD springs all the way around for it. This has got a really old Rancho, big old Rancho 4-inch on it that they get the truck up there. It looks nice and everything, but man, these things rode rough. So we've got some soft ride, custom made ORD springs for this thing. Going in place, and we're gonna drop it down a little bit. Monte's an older gentleman, he's in his 70s, so be nice to make it a little easier for him to get into. So we're going down to a 2-inch and 33s is what we're going with on this truck. So excited to get all that in place. We're gonna powder coat the chassis and everything, and we got that new GM crate set in place. I gotta rebuild the transfer case. Transmission doesn't have many miles on it, so I'm gonna just clean it up and get it back in place. And the rear end actually was rebuilt not many miles ago either. So truck that I've known about for a long time, and so kind of an honor to work on it, and yeah, pretty excited to have it in my shop and be rolling through the door. So. Little update on Monte's 1971 K20. Just got the frame back from powder a week or so ago. Been busy in here assembling it and whatnot, and just got the motor and trans installed. So this here is a GM crate that Monte picked out. It's what they call the SP350. Got the catalog here and spec sheet for it. So this thing is 385 horse at 5,600 RPM and 405 pound-feet of torque. It's got 400 pound-feet of torque, got a really good torque range there. Look at that, from 3,000 RPM all the way on. Should be a perfect motor to move this K20 along. Aluminum heads, angle plug, hot rod shit, man. 62 cc chamber. 9.61 compression ratio, that's cool. Gosh, you'll run this thing on normal pump gas. Yeah, he ordered the serpentine front runner kit for it too. Came complete. He got the turnkey one. 770 Holly. Yeah, things should run pretty good. Excited to get this one running. Gonna get some headers ordered up here soon. Start fitting those and get a nice set on the thing. Dana 44 up front, stock original diffs front and back. The inner axles are messed up. They got really bad wear marks from the inner seals, and this outer stub is bad on one side. So gonna get all new axles, new ball joints, the works. Crossover steering, got a reed knuckle for this side, so gonna get a red head box coming for it. Engineered vintage winch plate up front. Got some factory tow hooks on this thing. ORD springs front and rear. Trying to go for the nicest ride possible. This is their 2-inch kit. It's already settled down quite a bit with the motor in it. Need to get new transmission mounts and T-case side bushings and all the stainless lines coming. We've got a big old class 5 hitch in the back so we can tow with it. But yeah, original Eaton out back. The chrome cover, all the cool guy stuff. Transfer case is up next. I got it on the bench over here. Gonna get started on tearing it down, get it cleaned up, painted up, resealed, rebearing. I am having a friendly race with Devin. He is kicking ass on the body, and we should be seeing this thing, at least the body anyways, in some color, oh gosh, in a couple weeks, if that. Pretty exciting. Dark olive, Cheyenne Super, 71 K20.
Here's the cab as of March 10th. Devin's got its final prime, as well as the box and the rest of the panels. So we'll be seeing some color very shortly. Can't wait.
A little more progress here on Monte's chassis. Got the front axle pretty well back together. Went with Yukon chrome ollie inner shafts. And they actually were so pretty, I just put them together and clear coated them, put them in. We're gonna try to show those off a little bit. New spindles from Yukon as well. Off-road Designs heavy duty tie rod down below, run across there to match the Off-Road Designs crossover steering setup right above it. Reed knuckle, red head steering box, and with the quicker ratio, tighten things up a little bit, as well as Off-Road Designs steering box brace. It's always a nice little upgrade to throw on these trucks, especially when you're jacking them up and putting bigger tires on them. It just makes it so everything is just cemented and firm planted there. Between that and the engineered vintage winch plate up front, this thing is stout, ready for anything to be thrown at it. So got the outers all ready to go on here. New calipers, new rotors, all that jazz. And went with, of course, Torque King aluminum dials for the big spicers that I'm putting together for this thing. So with any luck here, I should have the rest of this back together today. Oh, yeah, the headers. I want to show you guys those. So these are Hedman's. I will leave a part number in the description of the video for you guys to reference. So I ran these before on multiple trucks. I actually have these exact ones on Big Red, just the painted version. and I've had them on there for a number of years. They've been great. I like these for 67 to 72K trucks because of the ball collector they have down below. And this it's just more of a leak-free setup. You know, it's nice. And as well as the collector being up higher in the frame, a lot of the hookers and other, Patriot, other header offerings, they run the headers way down low and they're right next to these shackles. So anytime you got to access this or access the collector bolts, it's a pain because it's just kind of a busy area and right there. And the Hedmans are nice because with the ball collector and having it, you know, kind of up more out of the way. But this is an automatic truck, of course, as you guys can see, and they fit perfectly. Basically, just bolt in and go. But with a 4-speed truck, they do not fit perfectly. The Z-bar, the pivot, the frame bracket is right here. And of course, it goes to the farther forward hole in the block for the ball pivot for that side of the Z-bar. And then it runs into this rear tube right here. So what I did on Big Red was I just took this bracket and I moved it back about 1 inch and kind of reset up my clutch pivot. And I think I had to cut and move the arm on the Z-bar to clear the tubes here. But a little bit of modification. Other than that, not bad. So they fit automatic trucks perfectly, 4-speed trucks, a little bit of work and they fit. And as you guys can see here too, they fit angle plug heads quite nicely. So plenty of room in there to run my plug wires and make everything look nice and not be close to the headers. So also went with the ARP header stud kit. I tried those out. I like this a lot actually. And between that, the Remflex gasket and the ball collector, we should be no leaky on these things. And as you guys all know, that is one of the pains of headers is fighting the leak. So I'm trying to make this leak free from the very start. So, transfer case. So new transmission mounts, new TK side bushings, and got that thing all rebuilt, resealed, painted up, made it look pretty like the rest of this. And I was actually surprised. It had some bad bearings in it. I didn't think it would. This is a low mileage truck. It just had a little over 100,000 miles on it, but I'm guessing the T cases ran low on oil at some point, and the few of the bearings you could see they got hot at some point. But it's all good now. New bearings, new seals throughout, and good to go. I am playing around with the drive lines today. The front actually was rebuilt at some point and is really tight, but it needs new U-joints. So I'm gonna get those busted out and get it cleaned up, painted, pretty like the rest of the frame. New U-joints installed and get it in place. The rear has some slop in it, so we might be doing a new rear drive line, but I think I actually have a nice original K20 drive line at the house that is really tight, so might just get that one cleaned up, rebuilt, and thrown in it. So I'm just waiting on my order from Inline Tube for all new brake lines, new training lines, new fuel lines. And other than that, this is pretty well ready to go to Devon's and have the body put on. I mentioned before in the last video, him and I are having a friendly race to the finish on this, and he's still ahead of me. So he's literally doing the final sand on the cab and should have some color on the cab and box. I mean, by tomorrow, I would think. So, but I've got this nearly ready to go, so I'm just right behind him. So all is well. Next video, this thing is going to have a body on it, guys, and look like a truck. It'd be pretty with a fresh dark olive paint job. Like, comment, subscribe, and more on Monte's 1971 K20 very soon.